guys? I'm Mike.
And I'm Tim.
And we've switched sides, but we're still live from our basements because we covered games from top to bottom. What's going on, Tim?
Man, not much. It sounds like you had a more stressful day than me, but I had a full day, buddy. My day was full. I'm ready for this. I needed this.
I'm ready for this, and I need this. But we got to say hi to our regulars first. What's up, Nix?
Now, Nix, I am guessing I got it. Well, I think of Beetlejuice when I see that. It's showtime. It's Beetlejuice to me.
It's funny because I've been watching a show with Michael Keaton in it. So,
but then it must be great. I love Michael Keaton. What's up, Brandon? Thank you for joining us from Facebook land. And then the other David Godfrey, the David that's not my my wife's cousin, but we like him so much we could adopt him, right? Bring him in.
Yeah, absolutely.
What show are you watching with Michael Keaton? I want to know.
Oh, it's called Dope Sick. I just finished it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the one about the whole Oxycontin thing. It's a good based on real life thing.
What's up, Jazz?
Hey, Jazz. So, Tim, what are we covering tonight?
Oh my gosh, we are covering the most important topic of all topics.
You're laying it on super thick.
Because if we don't take care of this planet, it won't take care of us. No, we are doing nature-themed games. Oh, look at this. David is ahead of the game.
Yeah, we got reminders.
I love it, dude. That's amazing. Thank you so much.
You're in our chat, there's at least a handful of you. Make sure you like our videos. Helps the algorithm. More people check us out. Who knows?
Yeah.
Thank you all for being here.
More people can yell at us because we made a mistake on our Beast review and still didn't like the game despite that. That's okay. I'm not mad.
Wait. Oh, wait, Tim. You mean you didn't like the components? Well, parts of the components. You didn't like the gameplay or the components, but not some of the components, but you didn't like really hardly any of the gameplay. Who knows? You didn't like the game, right?
Yeah, I mean, we were all disappointed in the game. And the only things we were wrong about were two things on the components. And both of those, Bob was in charge of handling. And we trusted Bob at his word and didn't actually try for ourselves.
You better get those in before he gets in the live chat. I know. Assuming he doesn't get killed by tools before he gets the chance.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Hey, Brandon,
good evening. Good evening. Yeah. But no, man, it's really been awesome. We've been,
it has been awesome because we've been getting a lot of views on that video. That's our Beast review. I didn't get to play that one. You guys have a lot more hidden movement experience than I do.
Beauty and the Beast.
Oof.
Beauty of Beast.
Beauty.
No, I enjoyed the artwork for Beast there, Jason. And I know you're joking, but still. And yeah, David, that's listen, that's our job here at the Board Game Rundown is to throw any hosts not here can get blamed.
Ooh. Which is all of them right now.
Yeah, sure. Dan doesn't like fun. Spencer suffers from AP more than most. And yeah. And then Bob got the sleeves and the screen wrong on Beast, which even if those two things worked, would not have changed our opinion or the score of the game, I don't think. So
yeah, I don't think so either.
Oh, yeah, and Andrew's somewhere cutting off sleeves on all of his shirts because school's almost out.
Oh, but he did. That's why he's cutting off the sleeves. That makes sense. I mean, it was Hawaiian shirt day, but nobody else knew to wear a Hawaiian shirt. Office Space reference. Anyway, you knew that. So
great.
He has a review out though. It's Legacy of You. Check that out. Looks pretty cool.
Yes. Yeah. Looks good. Looks really solid. He was really excited about it. So, I mean, excited enough to go in and do a video all by himself with it. Won't play with anybody else. I guess. I'm just playing. And yeah, Jazz, we could make a video, but we'd have to keep it board game related. It'd still be 3 hours long.
Oh,
Snap. Just kidding.
Well,
Bobby. He's one of my
Tim,
best friends.
Why don't we get one little bit of business out of the way? We did say we had some long days, and let's get some drink in our cups. This day, and I know you're still drinking on Jeffers Creek. I hope you finish that today, so I don't have to see it again. Just saying.
I'm just saying, Mike, for your birthday, I am going to fill this bottle with colored sand and give it to you.
I need to try this stuff now. You're gonna have like flashbacks of that one time Tim drank on Jeffers Creek for like 2 months. I need to finish this one. I don't know if I will. I'll get close. Evan Williams, small batch. For the money, I'm a real big fan of Evan Williams. Their bottled and bond is really good too, and you can get both for less than $20. And it doesn't taste like it. So
that's awesome.
Gonna fill this. Fill it. No, I'm not going to fill it. I'm going to empty it. We're gonna do it. We're pouring the whole thing in there. Wow. I'm just gonna show you that for proof.
Oh.
There's that's full.
That's a healthy pour. Mine's pretty good. But Nix, you're breaking my heart, dude, but I understand you need to be able to dry your clothes. So I respect that.
Yes, you do. And we don't know how far of a trip that is for you.
Well,
even for us,
Cincinnati to Columbus, it's an hour.
Oh, that's right. He's in Cincy. I remember that now.
Yeah, it's good 4 hours, I think, for me. Maybe 3.5, 4 hours from up here in the Great White North.
Yeah, it's about 5 hours. It's a haul. Yeah.
You drive too slow, man. You gotta drive.
What?
You gotta
How are you getting to Columbus in less than 5 hours? That's what I want to know.
I get to Louisville, Kentucky in less than 5 hours. That's further away.
I guess I have more speeding tickets than you, so I'm conservative now.
Oh, sure. I've got a CDL to maintain, so I have to be not a total idiot, but yeah.
I don't know about that. If you're getting to Origins in less than 5. Indiana's flat. It is very flat. The whole Midwest is. All we have is corn in Indiana.
Soybeans. Lots of soybeans. Don't underestimate the soybeans.
And basketball. Other things. Not much, though. That's about it. There's a couple guys that play board games and talk about it on Wednesday night, though. Thank you for showing up to watch.
I was just going to say. And a slightly above average board game live stream every Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
But yeah.
Tim, you got any news you want to get
busy day
before we do?
Hectic.
It was a busy day.
Sure. Hey, Bobby's still alive and he made it. And he's only got like a couple of tire tracks on his back still from us throwing him.
Does he still have all of his limbs? Gandage.
Clank Legacy 2 is on Kickstarter and going strong. I'm strongly considering it, except that I'm probably backing Guards of Atlantis 2. And that's going to eat up pretty much my whole crowdfunding budget probably for the year, because I want to go all in. I will say also the Katya's calendar going strong. It's got some time left on that. Cities is on Kickstarter. We've got a video for that. When we reviewed it, we played a prototype and it was a limited version of the game. So I recommend checking out that Kickstarter, because we were kind of like, oh, this game needs more. Well, turns out there is more. It was just, we just, in the prototype, they, you only get X amount of cards, we didn't get it. So it had a really unique mechanic with the way that you slide the cards into your board and some engine building stuff there. So I recommend going and checking it out. I thought it was pretty interesting and really unique. There's two reasons why I will add a game to my collection. One, if I just absolutely love it and I'm bonkers for it, right? And two, if I don't have a game that's like that and it sounds interesting to me, right? Like, so the Cities of Venus sounds really interesting to me. I found it totally worth checking out. Also, I'm excited, Mike, because
I don't know what he's excited about. Yeah, we're not getting audio from you, Tim.
Am I here?
No. Yeah, it's the buffering's kind of bad tonight so far. Oh, you're still totally frozen on video. Yeah, I don't know if we've totally lost them or not. Yeah, so that's been an issue tonight so far. I'm hoping we can get that squared away. Because I've played. Hey, Alan, what's going on? You've caught us at a great time because Tim is buffering. Oh yeah, and Mike was originally. I thought Mike was for sure going to be on the show. That's Mike Giuliano from the Full 42, of course. I think I even advertised it as such. In fact, we've went through a lot of changes for this show tonight. Yeah, thanks for checking us out tonight, Alan. We originally it was Katya, and she was busy. And obviously, if she says she can't do the show, I'm like, I'm not going to give her any grief about it. Cool. And so Mike was a maybe, and I thought he was a lock. So I changed the description of the video because I thought for sure he was in. And if he isn't, it's cool. And Tim's a lock. Unfortunately, it looks like his internet hamster is a lock for shitting the bed tonight. So yeah, awesome. Ooh, I'm on the other side. This is gonna fix it. Watch after Tim gets back in. Yep. Jason getting his Third World Studios shout out there. Yeah, he forgot to. I don't know where I got that internet hamster thing from, but you know, Tim's got a magic jack internet is really what it comes down to. Oh, he can defend himself again. There he is.
Listen, net zero, still going strong. Free internet from the 90s.
Using Voya. Oh, wow. That, man, this guy, he's throwing heat, Tim. Look at this one. I mean,
I am
wow.
rocking the right set Fred tonight. I'm too sexy for my hair.
I was too sexy for my glasses tonight. So there you go. Less glare on the face. You get to see my bags more easily.
Never, Jason, never.
Yes. Amazing. So I guess, Tim, if you're ready, I'm ready to jump into nature games. I don't know about you.
Let's do it. I'm ready. I think. Unless, okay.
You think?
You made me nervous because you were sitting still. I thought I started buffering again. I'm like, oh no. every once in a while, I need you to just give me like a Cosby shimmy or something.
Tim basically just said I'm a spaz. And if I don't move, he thinks I'm buffering. So it's like, wait, is Mike dead? Check his pulse. He hasn't moved for 3.5 seconds.
Hold a mirror up under his nose.
All right. So, Tim, nature themed games. I know you're not incredibly excited about this topic.
No, well, here's the thing is I like air conditioning quite a bit. Don't get me wrong. I really do like hiking. And I love biking and I love doing things outside, but I also like sleeping in a bed, like too much that if an apocalypse situation were to arise, I'd be pretty bummed out. I mean, for multiple reasons, but a bed would be a big part of that. But
okay, so
I'm here for nature games.
I was one of those. I do a lot of camping. I've done a lot of fishing. I've never been a hunter. I like to play disc golf and play golf. I do some hiking. I am actually yep, definitely. In fact, there is a game based on that, David, which
TJ Spring?
that is Hike It, which actually was an honorable mention. Spoiler. But that game has a true to life 2-scale map made by cartographer Ron Holiday and designed by our buddy TJ Swing. I found that game fascinating just because of its location. I've been in those Smoky Mountains many times. Love Tennessee. But yeah, I have a pull behind camper, so I do sleep inside. And I even before that, I was using air mattresses for years. My back can't take sleeping on the ground, but I've been camping July 4th for probably 15 years straight. That trip honestly is with old college buddies, and we kind of get drunk. But I also have the ones that are much more calm and not partying camping trips as well. Road trip and hiking and canoeing and kayaking and whitewater rafting and stuff like that. So into all that stuff. So this list is interesting, but at the same time, I don't have a ton of games for this theme. I haven't really bought or played a whole lot of games just because they're a nature theme. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. I mean, nature is not a theme that draws me into a game. So the ones that I have and the ones that I like, I really like. I don't like ooh, nature game, no thanks. But it's not like, ooh, a nature game. I'm here for it. So, that's where I'm at.
Okay, well then, yeah. Well, hey, there's all kinds of hiking. It depends. Hey, I will say, going to Alaska in August, you won't see me for a couple weeks. You might. I might find a way to sprinkle myself in. But I am hiking to see the largest glacier that's entirely within North America. So I cannot wait for that. But that is an 8-hour hike to pull it off. Okay. There you go. I'll quit my rants. Let's get Tim into his favorite topic. He's super excited about it. I can totally tell. His number 5 nature game.
Okay. I am not buffering currently, correct? Am I?
You are not. That is correct.
With me? Oh, okay.
No, we're good. We're good.
On my screen, you're frozen. Okay. Anyways, my number 5, I'm going to go with the obvious choice because it's super hot. It's the only one on my list that I do not own, but Earth. It's a. Did I? What?
For a second. You're good now. Sorry. You're good.
Okay. It's really weird. Tonight is like weirder than normal. I don't understand what's going on.
Very sporadic.
It's kind of frustrating me. I might, after my pick, I might bump off and try to do something like get on a different like an extender, because I'm not on the extender. I haven't been doing it because it didn't seem to help. But I might try to get on the extender tonight just to make sure. See if that helps any. Anyways. So Earth engine building, kind of game, kind of like Wingspan with your plants, but with this fun physical aspect of where you're actually like building up your trees or your plants and everything as part of your engine.
Nice.
So really good. It's not like the most amazing or my favorite game in the world, but I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. And so I thought Earth was really good. I would like to play it more. I don't know that I'm rushing out to buy it, but I would definitely sit down and play it again. So Dan coming in with the heater.
There you go.
But yeah,
okay.
So my number 5 is Earth. Mike, just disregard anything going on this side.
Okay.
But let's go for your
everybody
5.
Remember, just disregard anything that Tim says or does. He didn't say for how long, so we've got that.
Fair.
So I'll do this first. So Earth I actually had as my number 3. So I'll talk about it now and make it my 5. I thought Earth was really good. I I'm a big fan of Wingspan. It's going to come up. So I've talked about that one a lot too. Don't care. Love that game. And I thought Earth did some similar things in a different way. I like the whole kind of column and row synergizing and trying to collect. Awesome. Good to hear, Dan. I don't know what I did differently. It's funny. And I tried the new camera and I got to mess with the settings first. It was really way too saturated and bright. I was paler than Tim. I didn't even know that was possible. So anywho, yeah, I thought Earth was great. I like the simultaneous play. I think that's a thing happening in games now that I'm a big fan of. Everybody's going at the same time because on Earth, one person picks one of the 5 actions and that person gets the full version of it and everybody else gets a smaller version of it. And then you just do your thing based on the action. And, you know, all of the actions have different colored cards you can activate. And that's so cool because if you got, heck, 5, 10 red cards, all of those red cards are going to go off right then. And that is, it is a lot of fun. It was a lot to manage the first game because the game ends when someone has 16 cards played because you're putting them in a 4x4 grid. So yeah, I thought Earth was really good. So I was happy to put it on my list after just one play. I'm probably going to go out and buy it, even though I know Bob has it, but I thought it was great. And my friends not in the game group that like Wingspan, I think will like Earth a lot. Yeah, so Jason agreed. I had it at 3, and I'm just talking about it now. And I wanted to go back to this. So I mentioned I'm going to Alaska later, and hey, it's Nature Day, so why not? So I'm going on a cruise in August from Vancouver to Seward, Alaska. Seward is right by the Exit Glacier, which is where like all of these glaciers come together. So I'm hiking up to this point that you basically are just surrounded where nothing you can see is everything you see is glaciers. Like, so again, it's going to be a physical uphill elevation hike to get to that point, but there will be many amazing views on the way to that point. But finally getting to that plateau and like seeing all of it, it's going to be an all-day adventure to do this. But yeah, I've never seen any glaciers. This cruise ship does pop in Glacier Bay and stop at 4 other spots along the Alaskan coast. And then I'm taking 2 weeks off. And the second week, I'm going to go see Denali. I'm going to take the train up there from Seward through Anchorage, then take the train all the way up to Fairbanks and fly back. So a 2-week adventure in Alaska. This is like bucket list. I've wanted to go there since I don't know how long. So thank you for giving me an excuse to talk about that real quick. There you go. Yeah, super excited. But Earth was awesome too. Let's go to your 4.
All right. I don't want to get any grief for my number 4 because to me it is nature themed. Because you are in this game applying plots of nature to your player paper board because it's a flippin' right. It is cartographers. I'm using cartographers as nature theme because they're drawing mountains and woods and all that stuff on there.
Wow. If I would have included that one, it would have made the list. It's better than my 4. I don't have a lot of nature games that I've played. I don't. Bob let me play that, and my buddy that I play Splendor Duel with a lot. That weekend we went out of town for the state bowling tournament. We played Cartographers like 3 times in a row. That game is really good. But instead, my number 4 is Cascadia. I know Tim's not a fan of this game. I thought it was a pretty cool tile laying game where you've got an extra layer of point scoring with where you can put the animals and everything. I thought Cascadia was pretty cool. I enjoyed it quite a bit. maybe not quite as good as like Acropolis. I think Acropolis is better, but Cascadia is still good, very good. Yeah, and again, I don't have a ton of nature games on that I've played. It's weird. I want to play Bullfrogs, Jonathan, because it is designed by Mr. Mateka from Thunderworks Games. So that was his first Thunderworks release. So that's one I've always wanted to try. All right.
I think back in the day, I had a copy of. Is Bullfrogs older? Like,
yeah, I mean it's older than Role
okay,
Player,
'cause-
so I think it's maybe
Well, yeah.
2016. We'll look.
I feel like I had a copy of Bullfrogs and then traded it before I played it because
2015.
somebody really wanted it. And I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever get to the table.
Yeah, it's like a 4-player card game, but the cards are like abstract area control. Always looked interesting, and again, he's a good dude, and I love Role Player. All right, so I guess there you go. We're just flying right through this because it's like Tim's least favorite. Why don't we pick this theme? I'm hating on our content because these are like Tim's least favorite games. Like, hey Tim, give me a theme that you can name all your least favorite games that make up a list.
See, I can't hear you because my internet is acting so weird that all of your audio, I'm sure it sounds good to everybody else, but all of your audio is like, blah, 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 blah.
Oh no.
And I catch like 3 words. Oh, I'm so frustrated right now. I heard you say,
yeah.
oh no. Somebody tell Andrew to quit texting us during the live stream. That's probably not helping.
Oh, in the Facebook Messenger? Is he really?
Yeah.
Hey, good idea, Andrew. Definitely message me and Tim while we're streaming. That's our like production chat, if you will. Nice. Okay, well, either way, we need to get on to your your number 3. Busted. Right. That's what ready? It is. I'm also testing if you can hear me, so I'm just gonna ramble for a minute and you tell me.
Now you sound clear.
Okay.
Now you sound clear. All right. My number 3. I'm sticking with my map themed games. We talked about hiking. This isn't a hiking game. This is a leisurely strolling game that more people need to know about. And this was a great excuse to put it on my list. Designed by friend of the show, Ron Halliday. I'm talking about 7 Bridges. So in 7 Bridges, you are exploring the city of Königsberg, and you are it's a famous city with 7 bridges, and you are trying to through the game, you're rolling die, and it gives you shapes that you can basically draw on your map, like that you can trace on your path as you stroll through the city. So you're going to get points for walking past landmarks and walking through parks. You get to circle all the trees you walk by, and that's worth points. But the whole thing is trying to cross. There's a famous puzzle where you're trying to cross all 7 bridges without overlapping or doubling back, right? Crossing a previous path. It is impossible. But you do get points for crossing the bridges and things like that. But 7 Bridges is a really cool. It's one of the first roll and write games that I actually really enjoyed quite a bit. My wife likes this game. My in-laws enjoy this game, and this is the reason that I know Ron Halliday. Ron saw I reached out to Puzzling Pixel Games. They gave us a copy for review, and then Ron saw our review and then reached out to us, and the rest is history. Just A+ human being, and a really good game maker. And he made the game because he's a map maker. He is a cartographer. So, Jonathan, the parks in Königsberg equal nature. The walking outside equals nature to me. I want to talk about the games I want to talk about. I'll make them fit on my list.
So, yeah, is it a nature game because there's a map?
There are trees in it.
Ooh, okay. Well, I mean, that's how cartographers got on the list, because there were trees. I will say,
there's parks in there. There's trees in there. Look at that. Look at all those things.
So I'll throw a random.
Probably like there's some.
I'll throw a random one at you. So I only went and played games at the Village Well once. And one of the games that I was taught was photosynthesis. That did not make this list. I thought it was a cool mechanic, but it felt like every game would play exactly the same, and would feel very samey very quickly. Cool ideas, though.
I don't like photosynthesis, but...
Okay, so my number 3 nature game is Wingspan. I actually probably could have made it my number 1, but I thought it would be more fun to pick other games for those spots. I'm a big fan of Wingspan. I got some friends that really like to play it. Every action feels good. It feels like you can get your engine running fairly quickly, but you are limited slightly. Yeah, I know sometimes. Yeah, I know sometimes it can just be the egg strategy, but I've also seen it also be the card tucking strategy. So no, I don't think eggs are overpowered if you got a tucking strategy, because eggs are limited. There's only so many you can hold. You can tuck as many cards as you want. So anyway, I love Wingspan. I think it's a fantastic game. And honestly, the whole reason I bought it was because of the bird theme. Not for me, but the people that I wanted to teach that game to were like big bird fans, and like they, look for them and name them, and they're bird watchers, and I'm not. But I bought that game, and it was a home run for those people, and it became a home run for me too. So I've played it a lot. I've got probably 17, 18 plays out of Wingspan. Could have been my 1, but we're going to make it spicy for 1 and 2.
I left it off my list because I knew it'd be on your list.
Yeah.
That's no joke. Wingspan's an excellent game, obviously. It was also on our overrated list, sorry. And a lot of people got upset about that, but that's okay. A lot of people also thought it was fine.
I understand why you put it on your list. What?
I just realized there's a game that should be on my list. Let me redo my 7 bridges. Sorry, Ron. I'm going to redo my number 3.
Jason, I'm with you, because Wingspan's not a very long game, and I usually play it 2 players. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I also I don't have Asia, and I have Eurasia, and I haven't even opened it yet. So I've got plenty of plays of Wingspan with just the 1 expansion. So,
all right. My new number 3 that'll get me in less trouble.
What?
All right, new number 3.
Because he's getting bashed for his. Oh, there's trees on a map. Nature game.
You're walking outside. Anyways.
Walking outside is nature for Tim. Well, I'm in my backyard, so.
I'll let Mike finish.
Go ahead. Nope, I'm done.
Are you good?
For now. Now.
Okay, for now. That's totally fair. But my new number 3 is undebatable. It is undeniable. Ooh, sorry. Undeniable. You cannot debate this. It is from Grand Gamers Guild. It's fantastic. It's really hard, and it can be depressing, and that is Endangered. So in Endangered, you are going to pick an endangered species, and you're going to play as like members of this world council, and you're trying to take actions to help save these animals, but events are going to happen, and it makes it life really hard, especially for the animals. Not so much for the humans. But yeah, unless you're actually trying to do good. But man, endangered is really good. It brings awareness, to endangered species, which is very important. And yeah, endangered, so good. Really good game. Enjoy it quite a bit.
Okay. I never got to play that one. I don't know a whole lot about that one. So there you go. I should have gave you a visual while you were talking about it. I still could. I'm looking it up right now, actually. I think I may. Oh, yeah, with the tiger on the cover. Okay. Yeah, now this looks more familiar. That guy.
I can grab my copy. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Look at that beauty. That's a good one. That is a good game.
It does have some cool looking art in it. Yeah, I like that art a lot. All right, this looks like one I'd play for sure. All right, so we were you changed up your 3. My 3 originally was Earth. I switched Earth to 5 and then moved Wingspan to 3, which is probably how it maybe should have been in the first place. But that means we're on to your number 2.
All right. Am I buffering? I can't tell.
You're good.
All right.
You're looking
You're
good.
frozen on my screen.
Oh, wow.
You look like Val Kilmer in Tombstone with that light.
Nice. I'll take that as a compliment.
Did you get that reference? I couldn't tell because you're still just frozen on my screen.
Oof.
All right. Just be my Huckleberry. Bear with me because I can't hear or see if you're moving. So I'm just gonna. Oh, now you're moving. Okay. All right. So this is. Oh, I see what you're doing there. Now, Ginger, I don't like Mariposas. I was very disappointed in Mariposas, especially compared to how good Wingspan was. I thought Mariposas, while in theory was a very interesting game, was just not near as good. Jason, does Jason have like a secret camera in my house? Because Rescue Polar Bears is my number 2. This is right along with the endangered theme, as in, let me just show you though, this game has amazing components, but you've
Tim
got
the
these little bears
philanthropist.
that are on, you've got these little bears on that you're putting on the icebergs, and if you get the mama bears and the daddy bears together, they make little tiny baby bears, which is really cute, but really sad when they fall into the ocean because the icebergs melt. So, Mike, while you're up in Alaska, you're going to need to rescue some polar bears.
Oh, yes. If I see some, I will definitely try to rescue them and not get mauled.
I believe the official title of this is Data and Temperature Rescue Polar Bears. This is a Mayday Games game. Really good component quality, really good production quality. You got these fun little like 3D ships that you assemble, kind of like Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea.
Right.
And so like whatever player you are, we got different ships that you put out on the board. But super fun game, really hard. It's a difficult co-op, and there's nothing that Dan and I love more than difficult co-ops. So this is like Endangered, also a difficult co-op. What's funny is I thought about, and I knew I'd get murdered for it. Oh, excuse me.
Wow, that was a great box fart.
That was a good box fart. I thought about putting a game like Robinson Crusoe on my list.
Like
nature theme because you're trapped in nature. And I thought everybody would get mad about that. So I thought Seven Bridges would be less offensive to people's taste because it was
pretty offensive.
You were actually going for a walk, but yeah, it did not work. That did not go well in my favor.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
my
anyways,
my next two, I guess it doesn't feel as loose when I categorize them together because they both are somewhat similar based on their theme. Um, so my number two, I finally got to play here recently, and I would like to do a review of it because we have not. And that is Holy Grail Games Encyclopedia. So Encyclopedia is a very interesting dice placement game where you are doing research on different animals and creatures to try to learn information and get it published in the encyclopedia. And really, it's like set collecting the game with tons of synergy. And wow, I'm getting a lot of echo now of me talking. It went away. Now that his screen went black for a second. But yeah, it's oh, everybody else is getting it. So yeah, Encyclopedia. Yeah, the Encyclopedia is pretty good, folks. I would definitely try it if you like dice placement games. It runs. Yeah, there's so much mitigation. Absolutely. Thank you. Trying to like figure out what to go into first on this game because there's a lot. It runs long with like 4 players, like especially a learning game with 4 players. Expect 3 hours, especially because there are some turns like when you publish your theories, because you're going around and you're gathering information about. So you're collecting these like animal cards, and those animal cards you can learn about like what they eat, or you can learn about the habitats they like to be in, the temperature that they like to be in. So all of that, there's like 4 different cubes you can place on these cards. So you're collecting these cards and then like you're doing research on those things about those animals. Well, the set collecting part comes in is that there's other animals that may eat the same types of foods or reside in the same habitats or prefer to live in the same weather environments. And so, yeah, you are just really trying to synergize because you've also got this card, these like specialist cards. They've got names on them, but they each have a special ability. And you can only hold 4 of these special abilities, but every one you collect is part of your in-game set collecting scoring goal. And that's where the game has a lot of depth because every single card that you collect and do research on, those cubes get put onto the board. Those are set collecting points. Every card of the same color are set collecting points. So there's tons of synergizing and set collecting to be done in this one. And it's satisfying because you can get huge runs of cards. I mean, and all of the cards count. It doesn't matter if they're specialist cards or if they're animal cards. They all count for the same set. And so it is, yeah, totally. Yeah, we've moved, Rob. That's right. I am ashamed to display my alma mater background. We choked once again, so that is correct. There you go. Busted. So yeah. My team got eliminated in embarrassing fashion, so I wiped my slate clean and moved where I stream as a result. It was either that or I was going to change my background, and I said, well, I got 2 tables down here. I'll just move. So Encyclopedia, again, I would like to do a review. I know Bob's played it. He and I both enjoyed it and want to do a review. I really didn't like genotype that much. I didn't realize how much mitigation you would need because you roll dice that determine your resources. And I had one way to mitigate, but there's multiple ways to mitigate. I didn't think I'd need all of them. So I had like a final round of cards that I collected nothing for them. And so like my last round was like, I'm doing nothing. And I had cards planted that I couldn't use. And so it just left a really bad taste in my mouth on how bad I got screwed playing genotype. And maybe that was me just not preparing for the last round well enough. And I'm willing to admit that, but still my play of it was underwhelming because of that experience. Tim's almost back. He's still working on it, but Encyclopedia's long. That's really my only down about it. So eventually we'll get Tim, maybe. That's right. Rob hasn't been around in a while. Yeah, we've changed it all up over here. So, and I'm always kind of moving like boxes around and crap like that. So, we may have Tim back. Man, I actually had to talk about like my genotype play, which was the first game I played at my first JuliaCon. And I really didn't like it because I got screwed so bad by some dice rolls that I couldn't do anything about. Anywho, how we doing, Tim? Are we back? Are we ready
we're
for
trying.
one?
I restarted a router. Let's see what's happening. Let's see.
So far, everything looks well. And then we're back
Not
to
overly optimal.
yes.
See. All right. Am I back? I'm back, right? I'm back.
You are
maybe?
back. Man, maybe I should have played Honey Buzz when Jonathan kept suggesting it last Friday, just so it could be a possible entry on this list. But I haven't played Honey Buzz.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna say to calm him down so he'd stop bothering you to play it.
Well, David mentioned it, and Jonathan was wanting to play it, but we didn't. Okay, are we ready for your number one?
Let's do it.
Roll it.
All right, my number one is the naturiest game that I've got. I really enjoy it. I late to the party, famously
Late to the party. But we've lost him.
But it is my number one ever since. Oh, what? Was I buffering? Could you hear me?
Now we can.
You couldn't hear me before when I was saying other stuff?
No, not really.
Son of a biscuit. All right, I'm late to the party on this game. Give me a sign if you can't understand me so that I know to stop.
Okay.
So I was late to the party on this game till friend of the show, Rob Silver, traded me his copy of Everdell. This game is so naturey. You are furry woodland creatures living in your little nature village, doing nature things. It's all nature all the time. What can I say? It's a great engine building game. I enjoy it quite a bit. My family loves to play it. I cannot wait to try out some of the expansions. I still haven't. I played this game a ton of times. Haven't cracked open any of the expansions yet, but I'm digging it. Playing the crap out of it. I love it.
Nice. Yeah, so I finally got to play it last Friday. So it's funny that was a game we did play that was nature themed. I probably could have put it at number 4. It is definitely better than Cascadia for sure. But I knew you were
is better than Cascadia.
I knew you were going to put it pretty high up, so I just kind of left it off. I thought it was pretty good. I liked it quite a bit.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't care about the big old tree. Like most of the time, I don't set up the tree. I just lay the cards out on the table because the tree gets in the way if you have to sit around and you can't just have the tree in front of everybody. But yeah, I know Everdell is not dark enough for Chris's black charred soul. It's too sweet and sugary and saccharine for a hard-hearted harbinger such as Chris. But I almost went into so I married an axe murderer quote, but 3 people in the world would get that. So
wow, okay, so that we maybe should have picked a different topic when we're about done with our top 5 in 50 minutes.
I mean, to be fair, like some of this is with my internet being kind of extra janky tonight. We're on a little streak here.
We're on a streak.
But with it being a little extra janky tonight, it's kind of harder because it's like
oh no.
Chris, Root is really good. I haven't played it enough to put it on my list, but I do like Root.
I don't know why I didn't even think of Root. Like I drew a total blank on Root because of course I got everything logged, so I went through BG stats. I'll talk more about it during honorable mentions, so I'll give it that. He also doesn't know any nature movies, apparently. I haven't heard any of those yet, so we're in the clear, David. Good call out.
You want to talk about River Wild with Kevin Bacon? We could do that for a minute.
Okay. I mean, hey, I'll go Kevin Bacon. I'm actually able to do this. I'll go Mystic River. It's not nature themed at all, though. That's what's funny.
No, that is not. Is that my daughter? That book is way better. That book is way. I read that. I made the mistake of being like, oh, I'm really excited. I read this book. And then I watched the movie and I'm like, okay.
See, there we go. I woke him up. I got a movie reference in for you. All right. So
Star Wars Rebellion is space nature.
So here's where I'm going to lose Tim again, because my number one, I've only gotten to play once. It came out recently. We've got a review. I didn't get to review it. I backed it and waited almost 3 years for Darwin's Journey. Oh. And I thought this game was fantastic. Tim doesn't want to even talk about it. He gave it a very low rating because I
didn't have fun playing it.
You didn't have fun playing it, but Tim did try to blame like testing out mechanics and getting crushed by other players. But like most games where Tim's learning, his testing out mechanics is still trying to win. So I also feel like there may be part of this Tim did not want to like. I'm throwing him under the bus here because I've been saving it up. I think there is a part of Tim that was like, well, Euro hotness, I don't want to like it. I'm going to come in and not try that hard. And if I get crushed, I got an excuse not to like it. I thought it was awesome. In a
3-hour game, and when you're out of it in the first 45 minutes, nothing awesome about that. Nothing awesome.
I have had many games that has happened in, and I don't think they're bad games. Rising Sun is one of those. I get crushed in that game every time I play it, and I don't put
45-minute game.
Rising Sun?
Wait, no, not Rising Sun. I was thinking of Red Rising. My bad.
But yeah, Darwin's Journey I liked a lot. You can build up to some really cool combos. It takes a bit.
3 hours is how long it takes.
No, it takes a bit to get those combos working. Apparently, Tim didn't figure that out. But when you get multiple actions on one turn from the ship track and from your
everybody else
and from your worker placement spot, and you get a camp placed, and you get this thing going, man, it feels good because you got to set it up. It's not like rolling right where like, oh, I do this and then scratch this. You got to set up for it. Oh yeah, okay. I think it's fantastic. Dune Imperium, I thought I was for a minute there. I thought we were talking about a nature game. We were. It made list last week, so the thing is, like, there's a lot more modules to add to this. There's also a lot more sort of the different worker placement spots that you can add. There's a lot of those. The thing that gets tight about that game, I know, is the money, because if other spaces are occupied, you have to spend money to go there. But yeah, just the simple fact that you are kind of racing for certain parts of this game and setting up these combos, and there's a lot of stuff that can create extra replayability. I am really excited to play it again. I enjoyed my first play a lot. I am sad that you did not, and we were even having a message discussion with Tim as like you guys were finishing up that play. And I may go into studio and do my own review of this game because I've already told Tim how disappointed I was I didn't get to review this one because I thought it was great. I really did. And I've even admitted that I've cooled on worker placement games, but I just threw a dice worker placement game as my 2 and just a straight up worker placement game as my 1. And I haven't even mentioned the best mechanic is customizing your workers. I don't know a game that has done that where you're collecting seals and you're adding extra locations that you're adding extra locations that you can place this worker because you've given them like an extra like seals, but they just give you extra places that you can put people. And there's more powerful actions you can get if your guys have multiple seals collected. And man, I just thought that part of the game was really cool, and I'm disappointed that you didn't like it.
Honestly, Mike, it was the way that game just slapped the taste out of my mouth when I could not keep up with that damn boat. It just wrecked me every time because it's like, oh, well, I could take this action that would be beneficial to me, except it's not going to be beneficial to me because I need to take next 2 actions to try to move my boat just to even try to keep up. And I could not get things to chain together where other actions would move my boat or where moving my boat would give me some of the other actions. And if you don't do that successfully early on in the game, you are toast. You are absolute toast. There needs to be an achievement or like a special, a unique goal where it's like be in last with the boat. Maybe you get something for that. Like it's like Scoundrels of Skullport, right? Lords of Waterdeep expansion, where if you have that secret goal of having the most corruption, it then doesn't, or corruption instead of being a negative, whatever, it's like just 1 point, 1 point for each corruption you have, but yeah,
I think the thing of the way to teach that game to new players is you have to early in the game, you have to get your explorer moved and pick up those the different pieces that you place on your player board, and then you publish those to get money. You have to do those early. Like if you don't, I don't think you stand a chance in the game. And so I think anytime I would teach the game to someone, it's kind of like if teaching Lost Ruins of Arnak. You cannot ignore the track over here. If you ignore the track, you will lose. If you ignore picking up pieces early, you will lose.
I had to do that just to get money to buy the green and the blue seals because the cheap ones were getting bought because I was going later in the player count. So the cheap ones were all getting bought and I needed those. But then they were like exorbitantly expensive because they were way down. And then if I waited till the next turn, they move up and then Bob and Dan and Spencer are scooping them all up before I even have a chance to get them again. It was really, really rough. Hey, what's up, Brian? Good to see you, dude.
It is kind of complicated.
Hope you're on the mend.
Medium plus.
Won't go into all of Brian's details, but glad you're here, buddy. Good to see you.
Heavy-ish.
Yeah, no, it definitely is.
I feel like
I just got jobbed and and then there was there was one of the bonus things I could have taken was one of those extra goals and they were all gone. So you don't get anything. And because they only put out exactly what you need for the game. They have you remove some from the game. So, I mean, I got hosed by that. If it was a 2-hour game, it wouldn't have been as bad, but it was almost a 3-hour game. And when you're out of it in the first third, it's really tough. It's really tough. I was a good sport. I wasn't a punk about it, but I did let that reflect in my review because how that made me feel. And I'm watching everybody else. Dan started slow like me, and then Dan started to get those combos to fire off, and then Dan even started having fun. which was weird for Dan. He probably wasn't sure what was happening to him. But they were able to pull off some really awesome combos. It looked very satisfying from where I was sitting. Yeah, it was a real bummer, dude. It was a real bummer.
So yeah, because I enjoyed it a lot and backed it, and I knew that you didn't enjoy it. I knew it would make for some fun content tonight. So there was no way it was going to be off the list. But I really did enjoy it enough. It would have been like top. It probably would have been 2 behind Wingspan if I was ranking them on how much I love them. Because again, I didn't think this theme for us was terribly strong. I'll just be honest. I knew you loved Everdell, and after that, I really wasn't sure where you would go with this.
Well, clearly I went a little bonkers. But no, I've got some like ones that I was really excited about. I knew right off the bat, right? I knew Rescue Polar Bears. I actually had thought of Endangered and forgot to write it down. And then when we were talking, I look over right at it and I'm like, it's staring me in the face. And I'm like, son of a bitch. I knew Cartographers was going to be on my list because I love that game. And to me, I mean, you're drawing, landscape on your map. So I knew those were going to be there. So the list wasn't that hard. I didn't have necessarily like a ton of honorable mentions that I was excited to talk about. I mean, you could say like Terraforming Mars because you're creating, you're cultivating a planet. Maybe, I don't know.
I was debating. I don't see that one fitting. I will tell you one I thought maybe, but I'm going to save for later this month was Underwater Cities.
Oh, sure.
But like, again, like, okay, you're underwater, but there's nothing down there that fits that theme other than collecting the green stuff. And I forget what it was called.
Yeah. The algae or whatever that you're getting. I don't remember. I thought about like Terra Mystica, but I haven't played it.
Oh goodness. That just doesn't seem. I put that on our fantasy themed list, so there was no way I was also putting it on this.
Because Terra Mystica, you are like terraforming a planet. You're using magic to do it.
You are, or shovels.
I've got like some good natured kids games like Leaping Lemmings. You've got these lemmings that are running across this board, and you are trying to get as many of your lemmings across and so they can jump off this cliff before these eagles like go and swoop them up and scoop them up. Yeah. So Dan, it is evidently, it is Brian. It is animals or trees. Fast sloths could have been on my list. That's a fun one. Hey, we got Wayne in the house. Wayne's showing up.
I didn't think about that actually. And we didn't even like talk about the criteria, which we normally do. And that's funny. I think we both instinctively went towards animals and trees or bridges because you're walking them.
Being outside. They're outdoor bridges.
Oh man. Had I played like maybe CO2, that's one I've, always wanted to try. Okay, my honorable mentions. Everdell was one. I honestly could have put it on this list, but I knew Tim would have it. Finally played it, enjoyed it quite a bit. Hike It, when that is going to be out.
Hike It's going to be way up on the list once Hike It is out. Hike
It is not out yet, but that is we put out content for Hike It. Enjoyed it quite a bit, and again, the simple fact that I have hiked the trails that are in that game, and it's a real map of the Appalachian Trail and the Smoky Mountain National Park. Incredible.
Hey, are we I got to reach out to TJ. He's going to be at Origins, right?
Yeah, because he's from Cincinnati, so he'll absolutely be at Origins.
Yeah, he's not buying a dryer, so he'll be there, I think. Sorry, Nix.
The other one, it's been so long since I've played it, and because of this list, I started like reading the rule book and wanting to try to get it back on the table again. And that is Stefan Feld's La Isla. This is a shorter, for that time, definitely one of his shorter games because you can play it in like 45 minutes to an hour, and it's got multi-use cards. You're getting like a hand of 3 or 4 cards, and you're choosing to use them for specific actions. You're either getting a resource, moving your explorer, or you're using one and slotting it as like a bonus to an action that you can do. And you're moving explorers around, and really you're kind of trying to surround these things on the board that are like you're researching animals that are extinct. So once again, we're on the animal thing. You're researching animals that are endangered, and to do so, you have to like surround them with your explorers, and you get points for doing that. Nick's, I've never played it.
Me neither. Own it. Still in shrink. Never played it. Another one that could have been on my list. Holy crap. Now it just left my brain. Where'd it go? Where did it go? Oh my gosh. Oh, Mountains of Molehills. That's a fun one where you play these little moles. It's got like a 3D board and you play these moles. It's a program movement. But where the moles move, you're stacking up these cubes for the molehills. It's really fun, but you can get like stuck in a corner and you're just like clunk, 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 and not moving very well because you're drawing cards that are going, and then you're going to choose which ones you're going to lay out for your movement. But it's fun. It's a light little breezy kind of thing, but acrylic standees, really nice. It's a USopoly game, I believe. But I enjoyed it. I liked it for what it was. I thought it was pretty good. Oh gosh, there was another.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, honestly, that we picked this one because I didn't have a ton of nature themed games.
Mike, you came up with, well, listen, like I fired off a zillion themes that you could have chosen, and you picked nature theme and threw it up here.
You did.
You did this. You did this.
I don't even think it was necessarily like a bad topic, though. I mean, like,
no, we
don't have as many nature themed games played as other people.
There's a ton of them right now. It's like the new hot thing, and I think that's also part of my problem with it. Is it's like, okay, everybody's making a nature game, so exciting, boopy. But the ones I like, I really do like quite a bit. So Endangered, Rescue Polar Bears, Earth, Cartographers, Seven Bridges, Everdell. But yeah, I think for mine, I like, going back to like what qualified it to be on my list is like stuff that felt outdoorsy to me. If it feels outdoorsy, I could put tinder blocks on my list, Mike, where you're building the campfire, right? With the tweezers.
Hey, I mean, since we're on the whole trees and animals, I could have used Raccoon Tycoon. Woohoo! Yeah, not so much. I'm actually kind of going through my collection on BGG to like figure out what could I have pigeoned into this.
Just shoehorn the crap out of it.
Yes,
get it in there.
I know.
But yeah, I mean, this isn't a theme that I'm like seeking out all the time. Like I love, like, if you give me a horror themed game where it like is legit creepy, like, and the atmosphere is there, I am 100% like lock, stock, and barrel. I am in. So nature themes are almost just sort of like, I like those games by accident.
Yes. and even I had mentioned as somebody that is more of an outdoorsman than you and maybe some others, that it's not a theme that makes me go buy a game.
Right.
It isn't. So I'll write that one down. You guys need to do that one. I don't have a ton. I was just going to say, this is a good segue. I haven't played a ton of co-op games. It's not that I don't like them, but I was only exposed to like, Pandemic for a while, and I didn't think Pandemic was that interesting, so I didn't play that many co-op games. I love Horrified, though. I'm a big fan of that one. And like some of the word games are my favorite co-op games, to be honest. But I don't have a ton of like true co-op games.
I think the word games, though, are more like team games, and I think team games are their own category as well.
Sure.
So why don't you write that one down too? Top 10
team games?
Team game. and co-op games. Look at that. I'm allowed to contribute things to that top 5 list, top 10 list.
Well, you and Dan and Bob would certainly have to do that one. And
But you might be able to do the team games one. Might be able to.
oh, here we go. Busted. The only one I've reviewed with you guys was Burn Cycle, and that was just okay for me. That was
Snap.
way too much for what you get. So that's the only one. Although we did play, what was that one? Reiner Knizia. Me, Dan, and Bob played it a couple times one night because we thought about reviewing it. It was that Reiner Knizia co-op game. What was that one called? I'm gonna look it up.
Only Dan or Bob were in the chat or on the show to tell you.
Yeah, it'll probably come out.
What it was. A Reiner Knizia co-op game. Oh, what could it be?
Yeah, I'll find it.
I really don't know what it is. I still want to know how Jason knew. I still want to know how Jason knew Rescue Polar Bears was my number 2. I really do. That was weird because that's not a game that like a ton of people have heard of even. So
I thought it was a Knizia game. I don't even see it. He must
Dan,
be like a co-designer.
Okay, Dan, listen again. You were playing a game, a co-op game with Mike and Bob, and you were thinking about reviewing it, but clearly you didn't. Oh, Bob doesn't know. That's because Bob, has hobbies. Bob
has to look at my plays
that affect his memory.
I don't look at my plays because it's not coming to me.
That's fair.
Oh well, whatever. Obviously not good enough to. Yeah. Anyway, get reviewed. Yeah.
Siege of Rundar. We reviewed that. I like that game. That was good, but it's not a nature game, even though you are digging on mine.
Siege of Rundar. That's what it was. Thank you, Jonathan. What? Yes. No, co-op game.
We did review that.
I didn't. Maybe you guys did.
I did. Yeah, I liked it. I got it right over there. That's pretty good.
Okay, so I'm trying to remember what the other themes are. We've still got modern themes.
Mm-hmm. Are we doing that next week with Sam? I got to confirm with Sam.
Well, we said we would be flexible. And honestly, if Sam wants to do a totally different theme, I'm cool with that. But yeah, history themes and modern themes were what we had, on the docket for the remaining 2 weeks.
Spoiler alert, everything Star Wars counts as a history theme because it happened a long time ago.
Even though it looks like it's the future.
Right. No, but it was a galaxy far, far away.
Really a long, long time ago when there were knights and there were fights with sabers of light. I'm doing the bad lip reading.
Oh, okay.
Even though it looks like it's the future. Okay. It's really a long, long time ago. All right.
And yeah, Nix, I guess it was another game there it is. Another game we left Mike out of.
Well, we happen to have 6 people that contribute and we have a table that fits 4. And
and we have 4 mics mounted on the table.
Yeah. With 4 mics mounted on the table. We might be able to squeeze in 5, but it feels ridiculous to even try unless it was a totally different format. But yeah, we only do 4 of us when we do our in-studio reviews.
Right.
And I'm on the bench, so I'm a substitute when one of you guys is not available.
There's no substitute for you, Mike. Little chef action there for you. No, yeah, Mike is like our first on the call sheet when we are down a man. And that's not really Mike's fault as much as just the timing of when Mike came into the show. If you want to punish yourself and you want to go back and watch the original roster was
the old stuff.
There was quite a mix of hosts as we kind of got things going, and then we sort of started to settle down and kind of into a regular, couple of guys. Dan's gaming group night kind of opened up, and then that gave him availability to come on. Bob ran out of excuses to tell me that he couldn't make it. So then Bob had to keep coming. And then, yeah, we roped Spencer in, and then that's kind of how that happened. But
there you go. So, you know, what's funny is you could easily, like, the camera zooms out. You could put somebody in the middle of the table. So 5-person reviews could work. The other limitation we have is that, like, most games play up to 4. So that, you know, like, we'd have to have separate plays of these games that we review. And the Patreon money, first of all, is going to get Tim a new bottle of whiskey, for the love of God.
I like this.
And let's be honest, the only reason that we stream is like, I don't know, why do we stream? Like, I pushed for it a bit. I know we've all kind of pushed for it a little bit. I pushed for it a lot because it was like, okay, we go to a studio to film our content. That studio is in the back of a game store. And I'm super grateful that we even have the opportunity, because without Mark, like, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing right now and talking to you guys at all. And playing, like, our favorite games and talking about them on YouTube is a blast. And we don't do it for money. We do it, you know, because we love doing it. And so any money that we get goes to Mark, because he's paid for all of it. We have, like, we have amazing equipment in that studio.
Those new cameras.
Like, you guys don't see it, but, like, you should at least be able to tell our quality has gone up. Maybe not here as much, because I'm still using a phone, and so is Tim. But, like, our studio stuff is way better than it was when I started.
Yeah, we're trying to recoup a bunch of the expenses that have been invested into the show on the front end. So, you know, full disclosure, that's where a lot of the money's going. Now, we have gotten a little bit of money. Some of us have, for doing the show at different times. But it's not something that we're counting on. Obviously, we're still trying to grow the show. If there was ever an opportunity to go full time with this gig, trust me, I'm there in a heartbeat. Mm-hmm. You know, like, you know, this is,
and we're trying. Like,
yeah, no, I mean, and the wonderful thing is we're still growing. But Mike, I just had a good idea. I don't know how we would pick it, but I wonder if we do a thing where if somebody that watches the live streams, like, if we did a thing where, like, somebody could come on with us just for, like, a small segment, you know.
I've thought about that.
You know, I don't know
We'd
how
have to figure out, I don't know, who would be willing or how we select them. Mm-hmm. I have considered that as well. But yeah, thanks for the praise, Brian. We started doing the live stream, only in November? And it was only because, well, originally, so there was, like, one of the first times that I was in the studio that Tim was not. And so we decided to do a Tim is wrong video.
Yeah.
A top 5 of Tim is wrong.
That was because of my brother-in-law, Patrick. He suggested that.
He suggested it.
Bless his heart.
Me, Bob, Dan, Spencer dove into that. And that was a blast. And it was hilarious. And so Tim decided to go live for his rebuttal video. And it just so happened that Tim did it on a Wednesday, and he was drinking a glass of whiskey. And I'm like, yeah, just like that. And so I'm just, I've been in sales for 20 years. I've done some advertising and marketing. So I just immediately went to the alliteration just so it'd stick in people's minds. And every Wednesday, Tim and Mike are going to be drinking whiskey. And so, hey, I'm glad that people are still watching us now. 7 months we've been doing these streams now. It's crazy.
Mike, you know what I think really even kind of started it? Like, and this is weird. This is like a deep little cut. Is you and I were doing those, like, Facebook Live shorts.
Yeah.
Like, real quick, those little shorts.
We were.
We're trying to do, like, you know, like this shelf, you know what I mean? Or this is this thing. And I think I even played music for, like, one of them and did, like, a thing.
Yeah.
You know, like, and then it sort of escalated. It started to escalate. And Mike and I were basically the only two. It's like, well, we're just trying to one up each other doing this stuff.
And then, so you did your rebuttal video, and then we were like, okay, wait, it's November. What if we do, like, games we want to play during the holidays? And so you did one on your own, and then I did a list on my own, and we're like, wait, why can't we do this together? So
yeah,
we
and
found
then
this website that hosts all of this. It's super easy to use.
and
Love
that
it.
everybody uses, like all professional,
Yes.
like so many professional YouTubers and podcasters use this.
And it is a blast. Like here we are now. We're just like bullshitting about like the show, and we're getting Tim to liven up a little bit because we're past the nature stuff.
No, I'm livening up because my internet is livened up.
I know, and I'm still picking on you.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
Especially about the Darwin's Journey thing. Like I really
I got fired up on that one, didn't I?
I know.
No, yeah, Wayne, we use StreamYard. StreamYard is what we use.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think it would be fun to include viewers at home that wanted to participate, you know, and come on with us sometime. If you wanted to subject yourself to that, and we're comfortable doing it from your home or park, if you wanted it to be nature themed.
I was going to reference that because we basically did games we wanted to play with our family during the holidays. So it was a bunch of like gateway games, party games, and stuff like that. Coming up here soon, we might have to do a top 5 like holiday themed games. I don't have a ton of plays on that stuff. I've got a handful.
You can pick a war game for Memorial Day, right? You can do Axis and Allies for Memorial Day.
Nice.
You can do Zombicide for Easter. You can do.
Oh my God!
Because it comes back from the dead. You know,
Nobby for July 4th. Oh wait,
exactly. It's a fireworks game, sure.
Yeah. But to answer Wayne's question, I believe we use OBS and Studio when we do our live stuff. So we do have an editor that handles all of our studio stuff. We've done some live stuff there. I would like to do more because the live stuff is fun.
Me too. The
live stuff is so fun. Interacting with you guys while we're doing this makes it.
Let me just say, Jason, though, that the problem is I'm not going to pay $2 every time somebody wants off a sub sandwich because ain't nobody want to come on here with Mike and I and put up with us. Both of our potential extras, you know, could do it tonight, and I don't think it's because they had other obligations. I think it's because of me and Mike.
Well, neither one of them have tuned in, so I will assume they're busy.
I did tell Katia, though, she started cleaning her house. She better turn this dang show on.
True. That is true. Hey, we'll give people a sub sandwich just for coming on the show. We gotta get people.
I don't know what Right Busters is, but
and I don't recognize Scott. Welcome. And if I'm wrong, apologies.
I've seen.
I try to pay it.
So you owe that man a $2 off a sub sandwich.
I owe him. Hey, if you like talking games, join our Discord. We got one of those things. It's fun. Most of the people that are in this live chat are in it. And even when we're not in there chatting, those people are in there chatting. And it's super fun.
There's so much stuff going on there. Let me just switch it over to Marvel Snapchat real quick. So if anybody plays Marvel Snap, first of all, we do have in the Discord
we have that too.
Separate thread for that. But like there's this thing going on in Marvel Snap where everybody hates the Galactus decks. Okay, so Mike, the Galactus deck is basically what happens is if somebody plays Galactus in a location where there's no other card, they don't have any other cards. If Galactus is the only card that's there when he plays it, it destroys all the other locations, and there's only that location left. So. And it's you can only play it on like turn 5 or 6 usually. Sometimes they can play it on 4 if they've got the right setup. But anyways, you can almost always see it coming though, right? Because they leave very clearly leaving a lane open. Well, I have made a deck that not only wins regularly, but has today alone, I have screwed over at least 5 Galactus players because they snap. And I get all the way up to 8 cubes, which is like, if both people agree to snap, that's sort of like doubling down. Like, I think I'm going to win this because to climb in the ladder, you need to accumulate cubes and you use cubes to gain ranks. Okay. So the most you can get in a match is 8. And that is if both people snap and stay through to the very end. And I've had these guys, very clearly they're going to do a turn 6 Galactus and like just blow up the whole board. And I've got this card Debris, and she plays rocks on every location on both sides of the board. So last turn, I reveal, throw a rock up there next to, and then they play their Galactus, and Galactus doesn't proc because there's a rock there that they were not counting on. It's so beautiful. I would just love to hear them cuss every damn time. I wish you could have like voice chat so I could hear their lamentations of their women and their children as I destroy and take all their cubes. Anyways, it just felt really good today. It felt really good rocking some people in Snap, literally using rock cards.
Man,
Yeah.
I need to try and play more Snap. I've had this issue with mobile games for a few years. Not mobile games, it's my personal issue is I can't stick with them. I'll play a mobile game for like a month, hardcore, like every day, constantly. And after like a couple months, I'm just suddenly not playing at all.
Mhm.
And I don't know why that's been happening. I mean, I used to play Clash of Clans every single day for like 2.5 years. Only put $30 in it, by the way. But I played it a lot, had a very serious crew and all that. And mobile games, I haven't been able to stick with them lately. I don't know.
It's all good. I just love Snap. It's so much fun. I'm still into it. It's a theme I love, with the Marvel characters and the cards and everything. And I don't mind grinding. I've been playing Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes for 4 or 5 years now. I don't put any money into that game. I just grind. I just go in, I do all my daily objectives, and that's it. Grind them out. Snap, I put a little bit of money into. I bought a few season passes because I like the cards. I like having them, and the extra stuff that you get. But if and also, right, give them some money. They deserve, they worked hard on that game. Now, granted, there's whales in that game. There's people, they're making money, but whatever. There was something I was going to ask you and I forgot. But what the hell was it? I don't know.
So I was giving you a chance. Oh,
we don't know when we're getting Zarman's Demands Gempire.
Gempire. Right? I thought he was going to try to send them out this week. I don't know for sure because he has like 100 of them.
Right. Well, so here's another thing about being in the Discord is we've got a couple of guys that are like, game designers in there, and they're trying, they're either already published or they're trying to get published. We've got people, from game companies, in there that are friends, Mike Giuliano, friend of the show, works for Third World Studios. And it's just really exciting, Mike, like when I'm watching Paul from Gem Time get like all excited, or Gempire getting all excited about his stuff, and it's like, oh man, I love it. I am so happy for him. I really want the game to be good. And I think it's great. We will give it, an honest review. But I just love it. It's things like that are just so cool. It's so nice to be part of that community because all these other people that we don't know, or haven't met in real life, that are in there. And I talk to you guys, like if I run into Nick's in person, I'm going to be like, what do I call you? Like, what's your name? Right. But no, it'll be awesome. I love it. At least Wayne, I know Wayne's name, I know Jason's name. Unless it's a non de plume. But no, it's such a fun community, and it's a really great way to just connect with you guys every day. It's a good time.
It's funny because our Discord is like way more active than our Facebook group.
Yeah.
And like we use it, we post stuff in there, but like our Discord is bustling, I guess.
It is bustling. Mike, what we're gonna need to do before we go to Origins is we're going to need to do like on our Whiskey Wednesday. So in the studio, we'll probably do like a top 10 games I want to see at Origins, right?
We will definitely do that.
But what I want to do is I want to do a list, Mike, of top 10 or top 5 games you and I want to play at Origins.
Oh.
So these could be games that we're just bringing because it's like, I know I'm going to see Mike Giuliano there, right? Like Mike and I are going to play a game. Like, Mike, what game are we playing? I know we're going to see Reed there, Reed Mescola. Like, Reed, what game are we playing? Like, let's play a game. Like, I'm just hyped to play games with some of these guys. I think Mike and I got to try to figure out, like, if we can get some suckers to sit down and play Ankh with us. I mean, I'm just saying.
Oh.
Because, it'd be pretty fun to get that big boy on the table and play with some people, right?
And honestly, we're even like we're still brainstorming ideas. So like if any of you guys are going to be at Origins or Gen Con and you want to play a game with us, throw it out there. Like, I mean, honestly, we're still figuring out kind of what we want to film while we're at the cons. So Jason, actually, Mission Control is going to be available at Origins. So they're going to be selling copies there, and then they'll be selling copies again at Gen Con. I don't know where in there the retail release is, but it's after Origins and before Gen Con, I'm pretty sure.
So Jason, that is a good question for the Discord chat because Mike might tell you if he knows. And how awesome that they got the Dice Tower seal of approval. Did you see that news?
Yeah.
Good for them. I will say that the Board Game Rundown already gave it its seal of approval, so we beat Dice Tower to the punch. We knew that game was worthy way before Dice Tower got off their butts and started talking about it. But no,
I
really
hope,
awesome.
honestly, I don't even care that we did it before. I would love to demo that game again, especially if they have the easels. We'll gladly film that. Like, that was a blast. In fact, this time I'll hold the cameras and I'll let Dan play. I'll film it. I don't care. But we are definitely going to bring you Mission Control content from Origins. I don't see why not. Hopefully they have the big setup with the easels. That was such a fun experience. And if they don't, I'll stand in line and get a copy and we will stream that thing from our booth.
Yeah, that is a like day one blind buy. I mean, it's not a blind buy because we played it, but it is a day one. Like, I'm rushing to like,
hey, Mike, can you hook us up? Do we have to wait until Thursday morning?
Right. I'm bothering Mike until we get a copy of that game.
Like, we'll put out content Thursday morning if you give it to us Wednesday night so we can refresh on the rules. Just saying.
Right. I'll play that son of a gun.
Seriously, it was so fun.
Straight up. Like,
maybe that'll actually get us that first copy. Because what I've been told is from Mike, he's been posting about it. They're selling 20 copies a day. So they're only selling 60 copies at Origins.
It's really weird because they're only going to have like 18 or 19 copies that first day. I don't know what's going on, but they're only going to have.
But what sucks is I don't know if one of us is standing in line, if they'll sell us multiple copies, because I know you, Bob, and I both, all three of us, everybody wants that game.
Yeah, I don't know, Dan. I didn't watch their review, but that's funny that they got the seal of approval. But they also rated, or did they give I don't know. It seems like they liked Beast, but then didn't like Beast. I don't know. Whatever. It is what it is. I don't know how their approval system works, but well, yeah. Mike, I'm at 20% on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Just a heads up. I'm burning through battery tonight. There's something going on. There's something going on because my internet was like extra bad until like 8:55, and now I'm like cooking through my battery quick.
Solid. I still think you should continue with what Reed suggested and look into another internet provider.
Oh, we are, I believe, the end of this month, our current contract expires, and we are probably 95% chance changing.
And it's so weird because you and I have the same provider and I have no issues at all. And I don't even, my speed isn't even as fast as 10's.
I don't get it. I really don't get it. I clear out like all of my windows. I clear out all this stuff on my phone.
He's using Apple. I'm using an Android.
Don't give him ammunition on that.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just talking.
Let's see. At least one Dice Tower member gave it greater than a 7.5. Seal of Excellence is over 8.5. Okay, so I got the seal of approval. I'm giving it the seal of excellence. For me, Mission Control is an excellent game.
It was so fun. It creates a story that you talk about later.
Mm-hmm.
And not a lot of games do that well, and especially for a cooperative roll and write, it's very it's ingenious, really.
And
like it's doing things other games have not tried.
Literally a timer on the game too, so you know how long the game's going to take. Right out.
Yeah.
Right out when you go.
Yeah, there's a timer, and you literally have to try to. 3 people are doing separate roll and write challenges to help one person like escape on the skate pod, something like that. It's been a minute. Yeah. I mean, this was August of last year. So,
oh my gosh, I've been rewatching The Office. You guys, I love it.
Nice. I can rewatch
all the time. How much is a Shroot Buck worth? Yeah. Stanley Nichols. Holy crap! I just watched that episode like last week. It's so good.
So. Yeah, we're still brainstorming. Like, I know we want to run games of Ready, Set, Bet. We've talked about that because it would just be a rowdy, fun time. So yeah, we're gathering ideas of stuff that you guys want to see us do from the conventions. You guys are the ones that watch us all the time. Tell us what you want to see. We'll cover the topic, or we'll play those games. We'll stream them from our booth at Origins or Gen Con. Obviously, before that, the convention, we're going to have our games we're most excited to see. Spoiler: it's going to be a crossover on Mission Control.
It better be.
That was so fun. We got to switch up roles too. So last time I was doing the Sudoku puzzle. What's funny about this became a Mission Control pitch. I don't care. It was a blast. I'm so excited to play it again. And I'm excited to actually finally meet Mike, and Chris.
Yeah. Is Chris gonna? We have to confirm if Chris is gonna be there.
We did not confirm, but Mike
Chris.
For sure is, because of Mission Control. I'm sure we'll get to meet Donnie and Corey, the designers of Mission Control.
Super nice dudes. I got to meet them.
I didn't get to meet them
again.
They're I know Corey's active in their Discord. But yeah, that game was just a blast. So last time I was doing Sudoku, and anyway, I got on a tangent of meeting those guys, and I'm excited. That was the first time I've ever done Sudoku.
Nice.
So my first time playing Sudoku was filmed live, and like rewatching it, Dan was like making his comments about how trash I am at Sudoku. It's like, dude, this is the first time I've ever done it.
Listen.
But
Dan
that was
just mad.
My puzzle. What was your puzzle?
I had like this. Oh, what was it? I was like filling out columns or something. Like I had this thing where I'm trying to remember now.
Because Bob was rolling a die, and
then fitting things together.
And he would give us a number. We all were able to do something completely different with that number. We all had our own puzzle. And I had a Sudoku puzzle. And Tim had like a column filling puzzle.
Yeah,
and Spencer was doing a totally different puzzle than the three of us. Meanwhile, we're trying to get these like special abilities that Bob could use because he's rolling the die and trying to connect these pieces to make an escape route within 20 minutes because it's a timed game. A cooperative timed roll and write. It was so fun. It was so tense.
Gosh. It was really good.
And it translated really well on video. I cannot wait to put out more content for that game.
Yeah, actually, as soon as we're done with this video tonight, I'm messaging Mike and I'm going to be like, all right, what do we need to do to make sure that we can film some Mission Control stuff from our booth with a physical copy of that game? I don't care what it takes. I do not care what it takes. We will get a copy of that game.
Maybe it's doing the content like first thing Thursday morning, but we also have to be present for people walking by.
I will guarantee Mike a Ranger Stanley Cup if that's what it takes. I mean, whatever we got to do. whatever we got to do. Syracuse can win the NCAA tournament next year. Like I'll, whatever we got to do, we'll make it happen. Mike and I are movers and shakers. We make things happen.
We try. Jay. We try. Yeah, sometimes a little bit more moving than shaking, and other times a little bit more shaking than moving. But hey, there you go, asking some fun questions. That's a great question because we've always, I say we, it's we now, but before I started, Tim, you guys had this idea of doing reviews where everybody gives it their own score and then you average them together, which I always thought was really cool. Like, hey, that's the channel score. But if you like some of us or some of the Dice Tower guys better, you can pay attention to their score instead. So
I know you were, Dan. I know you were. And you can still make your game. It'll be nice. I don't mean that as derogatory as that sounded. Like, oh, yeah, your game will be fine. Your cute little game.
Shared mechanics don't make the game the same. Hence why Dune Imperium and Lost Ruins of Arnak are completely different games. They have two shared mechanics. Doesn't matter. Totally different games. I do. Camilla and Mike are two of the ones that I do agree with more on the Dice Tower as a rule, generally. I used to like Sam Healy. Sam's got his own show now, his own channel now. I used to like Sam a lot. Z always confused me because even games he liked, he still kind of sounded like, this game. So Z always I guess got mixed signals from him. But I know Dan likes Z quite a bit. I'm going to guess that Z was Dan's favorite. I like Z's sense of humor a lot. Some of the shorter, more compact games that he likes, I got a connection to because I've played a lot of those games and like a lot of those games. So, and some of those, have become hits for me.
Well, there you go. Well, my phone battery is gonna be toast soon, so
all right.
I should probably sign off, even though it sucks because I feel like I've been really good for like half the show. But there's always next week. We will do better. We will improve. But before we go, let me just say, everybody, thank you so much for watching. We have the Discord. We do have a Facebook group. We do have a Patreon, if that's your jam. You're welcome to participate there. If in any way that it's going to be hardship or anything, do not feel pressured. But it's there. Also, check out our friends at the Full 42. They have a Monday live stream every Monday, and now they're trying to do a new thing on Tuesdays. This is the play. I don't know what time that's going to start. Because I think they started at 7 yesterday or 7 or 7:30. And Mike was live streaming plays of games that they're doing from their Tuesday night meetups where they meet at this brewery and they do stuff. So they're experimenting with that. So check them out. Also, please always check out our friends at Board Game Mechanics, Jason and Katie. They're pretty okay. Jason cranks out a ton of reviews over there all the time, and they've got a weekly podcast that I personally have been listening to for forever, and I enjoy it quite a bit. And then yes, Bobby, David already beat you to this, but yeah, or no, it wasn't David, it was Brandon Emerson. Brandon hit that like button first.
Oh, Jason, there we go. Jason. Top 10 fillers. Top 10 fillers. Pulling on my heartstrings.
Yeah, so Darwin's Journey is my number one because it filled up all of my time and I didn't have time to play anything else. My number 2 would be Wonderland's War because it took up all of my night and I couldn't play anything else. My number 3
funny. Go ahead.
Is Continue. Twilight Imperium because it took up my whole weekend and I couldn't play anything else. My number 4 is Diplomacy because it took up a whole week. And then my number 5 is Dune because Dune, I don't know.
So what would you constitute as a filler? Just, I know you're segueing out, but I absolutely want to cover this.
I'm gonna say
100%.
a filler is a game that's not a party game, but it's still a game. Does that make sense? So like Love Letter is a great filler.
And it's got to be 30 minutes or less.
Correct. And
I
Jason,
think that's really the main requirement,
Jason,
right? It's 30 minutes or less.
Yeah, Jason, turn that camera off that you have looking over my games, my secret notes.
Okay. See, yeah, I would.
Yeah,
I would
we're
love to
talking
do tough fillers.
We're talking old school pizza delivery, 30 minutes or less. You got to get it in 30 minutes or less, or that pizza's free. You got to avoid the Noid. So.
I still think it would be cool to do. You know, we're going to be doing other streams from Origins too. It just there's going to be stuff. Well, there should be some lists that happen while we're there, because why not?
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of content coming from Origins because we're all going to be in one place. We've got a dedicated spot. Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. But yeah, check out all of our other friends. Those people are just friends of the show. They're people I care about and I think are doing awesome things. Check out Katya's Kickstarter, Board Game Creations. That mosaic calendar is incredible. That she did that video, the time-lapse video of her putting together that Clank one. And that dragon is absolute fire. Absolute fire. That dragon is amazing on that Clank one. I'm very excited about that. But yeah, she's crushing it. It's a super cheap Kickstarter to back too. And it's going to fill, it's already funded, but it's not like you backed a Mythic Games thing and then they're going to charge you.
There's literally no risk.
Yeah, no.
This is her fourth one.
Yeah, no, she's good. She's good.
And even with shipping, it's like barely over $20, and it's the highest quality calendar you can buy. Like, why not?
And there's other stuff in there too. There's there's just stuff. You can get the coasters, which look awesome. There's a ton of different things in there. And let's just support the A+ human beings that we know are out there.
Like, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, totally. But all right, Mike, that's all of my stuff as we go out. You got anything?
I don't. I'm glad we got some nature themes out there. I think maybe it just means that we should play some more of these games. So the next time we cover it, we got better selection to choose from.
Well,
but again, it's funny. I like these games, but I didn't. It's not like a theme where I bought these games because of the theme,
Right. Yeah, same. It is what it is. It's fine.
But that's okay. That's okay. We still have history, and we still have modern themes to come.
Yeah, we got two left.
Personally, I've been the one that's been hammering for more modern themes for a while because I don't think there's enough in games. So excited for that one.
Yeah, I've got like Descent and Ankh and Rising Sun and Great Wall and Aliens. That's my top 5. They're all modern. Aliens, Another Glorious Day in the Core.
He's got an 1800. This is modern theme.
Belfort.
Yeah. Let's get you out of here.
Pandemic,
yes, Bob.
Iberia.
History. Find a way to get on the history stream. Damn it.
Yeah, Bob. You got 2 weeks to take a half day. You got 2 weeks to take a half day.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
We'll see which one Sam wants to do next week. I'll give Sam his option, assuming he could still come in there. And
yes, because Sam Stockton, Forges a Ravenshire designer, will be joining us next week. And then Bob the week after, because he's going to have food poisoning. So I got you.
Right. Hey, Jason. Well, I don't know if Mike's played smartphone, but I've definitely played smartphone. If we're going to talk about games with modern themes, that's probably on a list.
Spoiler, it's in my top 10.
It's an amazing game. I was pretty sure you played it. Man, it's so good.
I freaking love that game. It's a 10. Anyway,
it's so good.
There you go. Spoiler, 10.
But yeah, guys, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for putting up with my janky ass internet for the first hour. But I've been rip roaring the last hour. No problem.
I don't get it. You're on the left side. A
Not a
right
one.
side? Right side.
Right side Tim. Right. It's too sexy for the stream.
Too sexy for the left.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. But guys, thank you so much for watching. We will be back next Wednesday with maybe a guest host. Who knows? But we'll definitely have a top 5 and we're gonna have a theme and we're gonna be ready to rock and roll. Right, Mike?
Yes, we'll cycle through 2 hosts and then end up with me and half of Tim again.
It's probably because I didn't wear a hat tonight. That must be it. The crow up here is reflecting the internet.
You're
signal
blinding your internet hamster.
away
You
from
can't
my-
run.
away from my phone.
Oh my god. Terrible.
So,
But you're all awesome for joining in and your patience with our technical issues. We're still trying to improve. You're all awesome.
Always improving. Always improving. And yes,
thank you for the topics again. I got 3 more I've added to the list. So thank you all again. You're awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. All right, guys. Mike, you ready?
I'm ready.
For the board game rundown, I've been Tim.
That was Mike.
Thanks for watching.
Later.